I thought I'd try something new today and review an entire archetype. I've done videos about archetypes before, but never a review, more of an explanation. So I thought I'd give you my views of how Melodious is going to be after Crossover Souls, because they have just got new support. Melodious, if you didn't know, basically the archetype that's like that one kid at Locals who's like, if I get this, this and this, you won't be able to do anything and it will be awesome. Problem is that they won't get that all the time because A, they require to be special summoned, and B, it requires a special summoning of a level 5 monster for the deck, which obviously is a problem considering it has 2000 attack. So what am I talking about? Obviously the Melodious lock, where you get a special summoned Aria and a special summoned Elegy, and that means that your Melodious monsters cannot be targeted by effects, they can't be destroyed by battle, and they cannot be destroyed by card effects. That sounds all well and good, but obviously it hasn't topped anything. Why is that? Well, it's still very vulnerable to non-targeting, non-destruction effects, like Spellbook of Fate. Also, they are vulnerable to things like skill drain, because that negates everything. So yeah, Cliff Fort's not helping their cause. Also, Vanity's Emptiness plays a massive, massive role against the deck, because if you open Vanities, they will lose because they require us to special summon everything to do anything, unless they summon Aria as a 1600 beat stick or set Cannon as a 2000 wall. But apart from that, the lock isn't unbreakable. That is the thing. Like, people who try and make decks built around locks have to realise that their lock isn't unbreakable, and if they do break it, then they have to have some sort of backing up. Melodious don't tend to gain advantage by themselves, except for Shapina, but obviously Shapina is a 2 tribute monster, which you could tribute a Serenade for and sort of break even, but you have to keep it on the board for a few turns before it actually starts to plus. So, why am I talking about this archetype? It's not very good, it's more of an annoying lock than an actual win condition. Well, the new crossover support sort of flips that on its head a bit, because they've actually released a level 4 Melodious that gains advantage by itself and made it into a fusion archetype. So that Melodious in question is Soprano. When Soprano is special summoned, you add one Melodious from your graveyard to your hand, and you can then contact fusion basically using its effect. So you send Melodious monsters you control to the graveyard to special summon a fusion monster from the extra deck. So Schuberta or Bloom Diva is sort of a way of accessing boss monsters. So it's nice that they've actually got some way of gaining advantage now. Nice thing to note is if you go Sonata into Transmodify, you then can special summon Sopranos, add back Sonata, special summon Sonata by its effect, and then contact fuse into Schuberta. So why am I talking about Schuberta? So Schuberta, as you know, is a fusion monster that requires 2 Melodious monsters. Its effect basically is a triple DD Crow, because once per turn during either player's turn you can banish up to 3 cards from either player's graveyard, and it gives 200 attack for each one banished. And this effect can only be used once while this card's on the field. This may seem lackluster, but if you think about all the archetypes that concentrate on things in the graveyard, like Burning Abyss and Shadows and Necros, even Satellanites, even though they're not quite as meta, you can see how quickly this can annoy your opponent, because you end up with a 3000 beta, and it can be used in damage step, it can be changed to effects to get some sort of graveyard control, it can be changed to bottom list, anything like that really. So it is a very good effect, somewhat overlooked. Also in this set, although they already had Spell and Trap card support in the form of first Movement Solo, which is a very good card for the archetype, but now they've got another one. This is Melodious Illusion. Now, Melodious Illusion is a trap card, and you target one Melodious monster you control, and it is unaffected by spell and trap cards until the end of the turn. It can attack twice during each battle phase. Finally, Melodious can escape the fate. Thank you, Rene. It would be good if it weren't in direct competition with Aria, but it does provide some sort of protection until you get the lock off, which is kind of nice, and it does work with the whole aesthetic of stop your opponent doing anything to remove your monsters. So whether or not it will be a thing, I don't know. I think overall, Schuberta provides a nice win condition, because you can keep special summoning to banish things from your opponent's graveyard to get some control, and it turns into a 3000 beat stick, which is kind of nice, with some sort of Elegy and area protection as well that can soon cause problems for your opponent. Not to mention Honest is a thing as well. Another card to look out for is Bloom Diva, which can also provide an ulterior win condition if you can get it out, because it requires one Melodious Maestro monster and one Melodious monster. However, it cannot be destroyed by battle or by card effects, and you take no battle damage from attacks involving it. And if it battles an opponent's special summon monster after damage calculation, you can inflict damage equal to your opponent, equal to the difference between this card's original attack and the opponent monster's original attack, and if you do, destroy that opponent's monster. Now, this is quite good. It's sort of like a Catastrophe with more of an oomph, but it is very difficult to get out, and obviously it is protected from basically everything if you get it out with an area, but whether or not you can get it out easily remains to be seen. But I think, you know, now they have a win condition, Melodious might see more play, but they still die horribly to Vanities. I really don't see why no one's tried mixing it with artifacts, because it revolves around special summoning fairies, but that's just me. Anyway, I hope you enjoy this video, guys. If you like the style, please like, favourite, comment and subscribe, and if you want me to go back to my old style, then please do comment with that.